Time and Space by Ernest L. Norman. The reader must remember that time and space are synonymous in all respects, for if we did not have time, we would not have space. Time and space means only the transference in some specific relationship of an idea or form of consciousness from one plane of equation to another. The sum and total of all intelligence is posed in the infinite consciousness, is therefore, in direct terms of frequency, relationship, space. These confusing elements of time can be eliminated, for the existence of this consciousness in any form merely means that it relates itself in frequency, relationship to various existing compatible relationships in whatever position they so exist in the infinite consciousness. When this principle is thoroughly understood, then the scientist can separate himself from his material world and place himself in an equitable position with other different transposition of life as they are lived by mankind on other planetary systems. Therefore, the scientist will not seek ways and means to circumvent his seeming time-space dimension, but will, in turn, do a more comprehensible thing. He will place himself in the terms of frequency relationship with other dimensions by the transference of consciousness, wherein time and space are eliminated simply because he is now harmoniously or compatibly vibrating with whatever consciousness he wishes to attain. The old idea that there must always be a vehicle to transport consciousness is indeed fallacious, and was born in the primitive aboriginal mind as it developed in the jungles and back reaches of the world. Consciousness is not concerned with any particular form of vehicle, for the transpositional element is strictly and basically that of a compatible vibrating element. The vibrating element can be considered to be so contained in such cyclic patterns which, while being complete in themselves, yet form the common aggregate of the infinite consciousness. It must also be thoroughly understood in our symposium or synthesis that there is nothing static or apparently stationary in this infinite consciousness, but all forms and expressions, as they are so posed in the infinite, are continually, through frequency relationship, regenerating themselves into new forms of consciousness. Even the commonly associated constituents of atomic forms, as they are immediately associated with your life upon the earth plane, are undergoing such metamorphoses, internal changes, and structures. Thus, they are somewhat commonly understood by present existing physical or atomic scientists in these latter days. Therefore, the reader must always remain conscious of the fact that he is immediately presenting, so to speak, his face of consciousness toward the infinite. As he presents his face of consciousness with its five senses, in a physical sense, and relating itself as it does also to its sixth, or any number of succeeding senses which are merely more relationships as they are associated in energy wave forms and are called extrasensory perceptions, this individual is also associating or relating himself to infinity, and thus presenting his face in newer and different aspects to the movement of the infinite cosmogony. These are the common patterns of life as are posed for every individual, and which in their basic derivations and extractions thus place every human being upon an equitable plane with that of his neighbor. It does not, however, in any sense of the word, subtract from the individual's own personal position in his respect to the infinite, as his position is always different from that of his neighbor in his understanding of the infinite. He will therefore subtract such a position as he possesses. and is able to interpolate in his consciousness into various extractions in his daily life.